What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a feature of a Pokemon that has not been seen for about 6 years, been missing. Nobody's been able to find it, but Armored Mewtwo, scarcely in the world at this point, just whatever's left from that one time they were in raids. By the way, Scopely, please bring this thing back. Y'all have buffed it twice. If any of you are watching, just put in a ticket to your supervisor and just suggest quite gently that we should bring this back to raids. Anyway, this team is going to be featuring a lead with a Unova Stunfisk. This is the Ultra League. This is an XL Stunfisk, the biggest pancake you've ever seen in your life, trainers. And it electrocutes things. Electric ground typing, very good core breaker kind of typing for a meta that really features a lot of steel types and things that beat steel types, especially flying and steel. We're going to have a XehrFelrose in the back of this team. Could be the pivot, could be the closer, could be anything it wants to. XehrFelrose is one of the most flexible Pokemon in the game with the Shadow Claw fast move. It's able to get to its moves very quickly, and both Mewtwo and it now have that really nice pacing and move set to be able to hit a lot of their counters for neutral or super effective damage. So let's get into the gameplay here with Zayat featuring these games of Shadow Mewtwo and company here in the Ultra League. First game's not looking too good. The Unova Stunfisk stuck up against a Alolan Ninetales, and the opponent has a Greninja to be able to just swap it right in here, man. It walls all the energy from Feraligatr, can always tank at least one charge move, and the Night Slashes are certainly going to add up here. You do need 2 moves regardless to knock out. Opponent gonna go for that first Night Slash, and they get the boost, okay. All right. Now there's a shield put up by the Feraligatr. Feraligatr's looking to try and make some magic. Was that another boost? Dude, we need to win this game. No, the opponent has a Alolan Ninetales lead, and they got 2 boosts on the Greninja. Please tell me this first game is a win. I need this in my life. This Night Slash is going to get shielded. The opponent also going to bring in a Pokemon at the same time the Unova Stunfisk comes in. We're trying to get that Fisk in, but the opponent brings in the Alolan Ninetales. Either it was a simultaneous trying to catch the other off guard swap, or they're in Zayat's head. Going to be going for the Mud Bombs here, just trying to keep this Stunfisk active and fit in this matchup. Mewtwo's still in the back, though. If the opponent doesn't have a hard answer to Mewtwo, it could be cooking. Opponent's going to go for the Weather Ball. That does not quite knock out this very bulky pancake. Stunfisk going to be firing off one more Mud Bomb before maybe switching out. The Mewtwo's going to pop in. It is down a shield, but that's okay because Mewtwo's very bulky. The opponent throwing only, I believe, 4 Powder Snows before they go for the Weather Ball, which... Oh, no, it's a Gleam! That hurts even more, man! Oh, and then the opponent's going to go... Dude, what do we do? What do we do? I don't even know. Dude, what do we even do here? We're going to be going for the Dynamic Punch. That's super effective in a Greninja's Dark typing. That's hopefully going to grab his shield here. The opponent just lets it go. What's in the back? It's a Skeledirge. Wait, do we just win this on the fact that we have... Do we get the shield? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Feraligatr's looking really nice here. The opponent puts up the shield, maybe not remembering that there's a Hydro Cannon on that Gator trainer. Don't you count this thing out. Gator's coming in and immediately throwing this energy. Are they going to get the knockout? It's a Shadow Gator on a non-Shadow Crocodile? I think Alligator? There's Gator on Gator violence. Wait, whoa, that was quick. Okay, hold on a minute now. Hold on. All right, I have to focus at the end of these games, apparently. All right. In comes the Ninetales getting farmed down, and that's going to be a good game, and we're going straight into the next one. All right, no transition today. We're going just straight in, straight out. All right, I love it. Shadow Typhlosion in the next game here. We're going to be going for the Mud Bomb, hopefully on good timing. The opponent swapping out, and they go into this Venusaur. Venusaur is going to have a bad day. These Confusions don't do any less damage for that increased energy. They are just still roasting this Venusaur with the Psychic Energy. Mewtwo's going to be looking to go for 2 more, and then the opponent's going to be able to outpace still. They did have some extra energy before they threw that Frenzy Plant, and now we're going to be going for just 1 more Confusion. No, couldn't get to the farm down because they would be 5 to the next if they do get there right away. So we're just going to be able to get the KO here. The Venusaur not going to be able to really win that matchup. If we wanted to put a shield up, we could have got the farm down, but it would have been kind of risky. Opponent's going to come in now with that Typhlosion, going for the Psy Strike. Psy Strike, even though Mewtwo is a bit more bulky with this armor on it, it's going to still do quite a bit of damage, and in comes... No! Wait, this could be a... Oh, wait. We went for the... Holy... Why? Wait a minute. No. I need... Bro, why did we go for the Discharge? Is it just because we knew it would KO and we wanted to catch something else? Bro, that is so 5-head. Dude... There are so many game plans that are going off here that it's just like everything's happening at the same time. Like, holy man. All right, Discharge is getting all the shields here. Now it's up to Zayat. Do we shield up this Stunfisk? Do we let it go and go ahead and get the shield here? Can we get to the Discharge? The opponent not quite at the move. That looked like a CMP tie. There's no way that was actually CMP tie, right? No. No, okay, it was not. Now we can go into the Mewtwo to try and pressure the energy. The opponent, however, gonna make a catch on the Typhlosion, and Typhlosion's here to eat this energy, but unfortunately for the opponent, there is a fully healthy Gator in the back, and that would have been curtains because the Shadow Claws would have been able to farm down. Good game, well played. Moving to the next one, we got a Sand Slash, another Ice type. This one's a bit of a core breaker, but not so much. I mean, no, they have a Shadow Claw, never mind, another core breaker again. Oh boy. See, if they don't have Shadow Claw, Mewtwo actually does pretty okay in this matchup, but them just having Shadow Claw just makes it so much worse for the Mewtwo. Gonna be looking to catch a move here on this Feraligatr, hoping it's the Ice Punch. There's no way. There's the Drill Run, right? They go for the Ice Punch. That's a nice resisted catch here, but the opponent has a Tentacruel for this Feraligatr, and unfortunately, they are what looks to be Acid, meaning they have the fast attack pressure here to put into this Feraligatr to be able to farm it down, resisting all this energy. The opponent going to go for a charge move, however, wanting to go for resisted energy farm down. Resisted? No, that's an Acid Spray. I mean, I thought they ran Blizzard, but hey, Acid Spray is absolutely a strat. They're going to be going for the Hydro Cannon here, not quite able to get the knockout. The opponent can fully farm down and is going to be looking to put this energy into the Unova Stunfisk. I actually think coming in with Mewtwo, going for the Confusion down is a great play, and I love to see it. Opponent going to be going for that Scald. We were hoping a no shield and Acid Spray. I know we were, Trainer. The opponent, however, has Togekiss in the back, and this is a little bit risky here for the opponent because they have to go for the Dazzling Gleam to do any real damage, even with that debuff in play. And now in comes the Stunfisk, a shield up, going to be trying to absorb the energy. Much better place to put it than with an Armored Mewtwo with a debuff. Opponent going to go for the Aura Sphere because they need to. But the CMP tie, Togekiss wins that, and Unova Stunfisk is going to no-shield this move. Aura Sphere is going to connect and do some damage here, but now the Unova Stunfisk gets to fire off the static electricity discharge. It's got to store it up in its little flat body, going for the discharge. Opponent not able to make the catch here, and this is going to force the shield or take out the Togekiss. The opponent going to let that go, putting that one shield on the back of that Sand Slash. Opponent's hoping for a prayer to be answered here. Stunfisk is going to go for a shield, and I think this is game because you kind of just go for this Mud Bomb, and then you're going to be able to pop in with a Mewtwo that I believe had energy, go for that Dynamic Punch and take the opponent down, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. We're going to be looking to see this, but it's a non-shadow Alolan Sand Slash. This is Drill Run even do enough? Nope, we're not even going to need to find out. Zayat confident that the opponent's not at that second move, going for the Dynamic Punch right now. The opponent does not have the energy for the Drill Run, and that's going to be a knockout. Good game. Wait, where'd my button go? There it is. Found it. All right, next game. Apparently, I closed it at some point. All right, that's the Unova Stunfisk matchup into a Gyarados. The thing is that Gyarados usually not going to be on the... Gyarados not usually going to be on Waterfall, so it's going to prefer to have Dragon Breath, and unfortunately, that means Unova Stunfisk can just freely get that double super effective fast move damage, and that's a lot of damage to have to take for the Gyarados. So it swaps out into this Shadow Galarian Weezing, which has a poison typing, which means that, I mean, Mewtwo's happy to come in and farm here. You can really just pressure this with the Psychic type Confusions and just do so much. Now you're gonna have to go for the Psy Strike here. The opponent needs to go for a Crunch to get a knockout in this matchup. I do believe the Aqua Tail here would not be close to being enough. The opponent here is gonna go for a shield, dropping it, and now the opponent gonna be going for a charge move. This Feraligatr is gonna feel some pain if this ends up being a Crunch, and that's going to do quite a bit of damage. The opponent, however, staying in, able to get to a last-second Aqua Tail, a little parting gift for the Feraligatr, which is going to take that resisted damage, and we're going to hope that Unova Stunfisk and Mewtwo, between what's left of them in the back here, can handle whatever the opponent's final Pokemon is. That's Hydro Cannon's going to connect, but the Gyarados gets the farm down here. Stunfisk probably going to want to come in here and try and get this farm down. I think it can because the opponent just threw the opponent. Never mind, has a Gastrodon in the back! And now in comes the Mewtwo, has some energy to spare. We're going to be going, the opponent, however, going to be throwing a charge move. I was going to say we're going for the Psy Strike, but the opponent goes straight for this Body Slam here, which puts the Mewtwo in a very rough spot. Personally, I would have gone for Wind Confusion here, just to at least get some damage for the energy, and like not giving them too many turns, but it doesn't really matter here, to be honest, because you still would have probably done about the same amount of damage either way, but In comes the Stunfisk. It has a shield. The opponent gonna go for the body slam bait. I'm in shambles just watching this. The opponent gonna have to make a catch in order to know. There's no way that this thing goes down to just 2 mud bombs. There's no way. It might. Hold on a minute. This is the Earth Power of the Water Pulse, though, and I think that's going to be it. I don't think Stunfisk is living this one. Nope, Water Pulse connects. Wait, that's it? Can we get to the Mud Bomb? The opponent going to be expecting them to go for the Mud Bomb on good timing and try to make that catch, but the opponent in shambles now. But Gyarados comes in, but gets the farm down. Oh, no, the Fisk couldn't do it. Oh. I'm sorry, what? Hello? Fido, is that you? Hello, Zacian. It's good to see you in the wrong league. Hello? Dude, I immediately respect the opponent who played this spice in the Ultra League today, okay? We're going for a Bunt Bomb on with the Unova Stunfisk here. The opponent can go for some nuke damage if they want, but unfortunately, Zacian, not quite as powerful here in the Ultra League as it is in the Master League. You see how little damage that close combat did to a Unova Stunfisk, unfortunately. It's got a really unique typing and moveset for what it does, though, Zacian, and I really like this pick, but unfortunately the opponent's going to have to be looking to go to a severe disadvantage here, whether it's shields or otherwise, to be able to win this matchup. So they're probably going to let this go at this point, having been getting the shield. No, they're going to go for it. Drop the defense into the floor, and the opponent looking to go for one more move. Can we get a... Oh, no shield, no farm down. Well, can you get the farm down anyway, honestly? It's on Snarl. The opponent going to bring in a Golisopod. And now this is a little bit risky because you have something that gets, like, the water typing just straight walls the... Oh, no, we're going for it. Oh, no, we gave him all that farm, unfortunately. So Feraligator's got to come in. But at least now, thanks to that Thunder Shock damage, Feraligator should be able to land a Hydro Cannon and finish this matchup. The opponent going to go for an X-Scissor for some damage here. And now they win the charge attack priority tie. I believe this one's... I don't know if this is IV dependent or not. But Golisopod getting that X-Scissor on to this Feraligator is just unfortunately going to do a lot. Now it's all up to the Mewtwo with a shield, and the opponent has a Steelix. If the Steelix is not on Crunch, we have a chance. The opponent, I believe they're on Dragon Tail, it looks like. So the opponent going to be going for the Crunch. Oh, no, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's tough, dude. If you're against a Dragon Tail user or other 3-turn move user, you do want to be going for the moves ideally on 2 Confusions here. That's the best possible timing into these 3-turn move users. There we go, like Dragon Tail, Snarl, etc. Mewtwo's able to land the Dynamic Punch, though, and that just might mean it's all good now because Zacian's getting farmed down with that Gator! And Mewtwo's in the back thanking its lucky stars. Oh, here he is, buddy. Oh, I was waiting for this thing to show up. What's up, Belly of the Bolt? You are in a bad matchup. However, the opponent is on Sucker Punch, meaning they have at least a way to do some form of not triple resisted damage. However, Mud Bomb is going to be super effective back into this Belly Bolt. The opponent looks to probably have a bit of a soft spot in the back for this Mud Boy. Ex-Mud Boy. Not a Mud Boy. It's a Zappy Boy. Zappy Mud Boy. Stunfisk, the Zappy Mud Boy, going to be going for... no shields here, because it never really needs it. Look at the Zap Cannon, dude. Belly Bolt is just silly. This thing. We're going to be going for the Mud Bomb. The opponent looking to just probably wear down the Stunfisk a little bit before letting go this Belly Bolt, and then the opponent brings in what is likely their thing that does not want to see the Stunfisk unless this is their best answer to the Stunfisk, in which case, trainer, this is a bad time for us to have a team that needs to be 1v3'd by Unova Stunfisk, because not only does Mewtwo have a very bad matchup taking all that super effective damage from those Sucker Punches. Now the opponent has a Charizard in the back. Never mind, all is good. Here we go. Gonna have the Feraligator show coming on TV for you right now. This is gonna be a masterclass in Feraligator time. The opponent gonna be... oh, never mind. They just dropped into the Mewtwo. Damn, that could have been a hard sweep with that Gator. Oh, man. That's okay. Playing it safe with the Armored Mewtwo coming in. That is absolutely the play here. Opponent gonna be going for 2 moves. Looking to put up a shield here on the Mewtwo and try not to get double blast burn. That is a lot of energy. They were at 100 energy, dude. That is how good. Oh, man. That's how good the energy generation on Dragon Breath is. We just threw a double resisted side strike. That is unfortunate. The opponent able to make a last second, very nice catch. Well timed onto that Galarian Moltres, and that's unfortunately, that is just, oh man, that's okay though. The Feraligator's able to get some energy here, however, and put up a shield on this fly, hoping that it can maybe outpace the Charizard if it needs to. We're going to be seeing the Charizard come back in here. They do need to get to an Air Cutter and then some, I think. I don't think an Air Cutter is going to be enough. However, the opponent, knowing that it might be over, they just decide to no shield, and that's a good game. I still think what I saw from that, I don't think they really were going to make it back from that, but I'm just saying. All right, I know I'm breaking thing here, but like, had they gone for like an Air Cutter, there's a chance. Okay, though, there's probably, I don't know. I'm probably overanalyzing. Anyway, whatever. We're gonna resume this. Back in the action, trainers. Gastrodon. That's not a lead you want to see. Straight into the Mewtwo we go here. The opponent gonna. Oh. The opponent's bringing in their Alolan Sandslash, and guess what, trainer? We have a one-shot nuke available on our Mewtwo just for you. The opponent going to be going for the Ice Punch while Mewtwo loads up this Dynamic Punch. Which fist is greater? It's okay. Both of them are going to get a shield here, but the opponent's going to unfortunately throw on some... Right on alignment, actually. Looks like they threw 2 Powder Snows before they threw. And unfortunately, that gives Mewtwo a massive pacing advantage in this matchup as it gets a whole free confusion at the time. Dynamic Punch going to get the final shield if it wants to. Mewtwo can absolutely flip this. The opponent goes for it again. Oh, Mewtwo's putting it up, and Mewtwo's absolutely going for it. This Dynamic Punch is going to get the rest of the HP bar off this Alolan Sandslash. Trainer, you thought, knocked out, and unfortunately the Gastrodon cannot maintain its target. The Unova Stunfisk is free of its sluggy brethren, and the opponent's going to have to make a choice here. They're going to go for a charge move. This Gastrodon has quite a bit of energy, but most of them are running Water Pulse now. That one's running Earth Power, however. The opponent has a Talonflame. We can go for the Hydro Cannon here. Could have also gone for a full 7 Shadow Claws for an overfarm. However, now that I found out today that you could just go for the Hydro Cannon and then just farm down afterwards. Anyway, I just learned this today. However, Gastrodon's still looking pretty healthy, but the Stunfisk is looking to take revenge on that first game. It has the advantage it needs now to be able to make a difference here. The opponent is going to be able to land that super effective Earth Power before the second Mud Bomb is reached, but can the Unovan Stunfisk and its bulk hang on? This thing is getting low. Going for the charge move here. This Gastrodon's looking to make it happen. Earth Power, not enough, and neither of the Mud Slaps after the opponent not having any chance to go and swap out, catch nothing out of that available, so they're going to have to take this Mud Bomb, and that Unovan Stunfisk claims its victory. Good game. Unovan Stunfisk into a Clefable in the next game. Neutral matchup, and it's kind of neutral everywhere, to be honest. This Clefable's not really a threat nor hindrance to this team. We're just going to see Zayat look to stay in and go for the Mud Bombs on the Unovan Stunfisk. This is going to do some chip damage for later. Something might be able to use this. If you can get this down below half health, Feraligatr can also one-shot it with a Hydro Cannon from that range as well. So that's always good to know in case you ever need it later. So that's probably, I mean, it's a very likely strategy in case they like have a dark type in the back that you want to bait out, maybe. Unovan Stunfisk is probably good against something, and there we go. There's the pivot into the Feraligatr. The opponent going to be throwing a move now. Zayat has a choice to make. Do we shield a move? This could be the Moonblast, and it is. The opponent's going to now drop in their Lapras. If this thing doesn't have Skull Bash, this is actually a very interesting matchup, because even though the Psy Waves add up, these Hydro Cannons add up just as quick, and because the opponent's on a Shadow Lapras, I don't know, man, but they're going to be farming up the energy, looking to try and make the Feraligatr threaten this shield with this Skull Bash, but man, my brain shut down at the end of that sentence. Here we go, revving it back up. All right, good opponent's going to go for the Skull Bash. That knocks the that hurts. But the opponent not likely to have a whole lot of energy. However, I think they can get to the move, and Zayat agrees. They're going to go for the discharge here to make sure this is a knockout, and whatever could be in the back is a flyer. Maybe we're looking to make a catch on it. The opponent has Kingdra in the back. Kingdra's got to be... Oh, this thing has that's a Shadow Kingdra, dude. This is sick. The opponent going to be having it... I mean, we just farm this up, I guess, right? The opponent likely to go for Swift Baits at this point, or the double Outrage. They elect for the double Outrage and Outwage. Yeah. Oh, man. There's a joke. There's comments. You guys are going to let me have that one. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. Dynamic Punch is going to be able to get the first shield of the match here from the opponent, but they're going to be able to go for another Outrage pretty quick, I believe, here. That's going to be so much damage, and Mewtwo can't hang on, unfortunately. And, yeah, this Stunfisk is going to get outpaced to the 2 moves that it needs to get this knockout, and so Kingdra going to be able to come back from behind in this game. No, the opponent says I'm going to finish this with Clefable. Honestly, that's a completely fair way to finish this game. I respect it. The opponent going to be going for the move on the Clefable. That is going to be the Moon. No, that's the Meteor Mash. They did the mash! And we're into the next game. You know, with Stunfisk finding a very positive lead here on the Talonflame. Not very many places that Talonflame can go against this team, except for maybe against the Mewtwo, but very nice timing here. Throwing on 7 Thunder Shocks is the proper timing for 2-turn moves like this Thunder Shock into the Incinerate user. Now we're going to be seeing the opponent go for a charge move, and Unovan Stunfisk has nothing to fear in this matchup except for the opponent having Flame Charge is going to make this a little bit less comfy than if they had Fly Brave Bird, which I've seen actually a lot more of them running Flame Charge lately, which makes sense. The opponent going to be putting both shields down and going to look to catch this on the Feraligatr. And the key thing here is that the Feraligatr got a 1 Shadow Claw head start. That means the opponent has no ability to stay in and try and go for another couple of Incinerates for another move because they can't get there. The opponent, however, going to bring in a solid answer to this low health Feraligatr in the form of their Thunderfang Steelix, but the opponent farming up too much and the whole Steelix is now gone, man. It's gone in the bin. Trainer, I'm sorry, you have made a mistake. Now the opponents, oh no, they're getting the farm down though with this Talonflame, and now this is a bit of a pickle that we're in, except the opponent goes for the Incinerate, and they are gonna have to take the Stunfisk. It had just enough energy to lock in that discharge. 2 Thunder Shocks there, and then the opponent's gonna have the Gastron in the back, and a 2-shield Mewtwo is gonna be greeted, and that's gonna be a good game well played. All right, getting into the next game here. We got Jellicent on the lead. This is a very, I mean, they say this is neutral because they're both doing super effective, but the opponent's gonna, I'm trying to make heads or tails of this. The opponent brings in their Galvantula in response to the lead of the Unovan Stunfisk. Trainer, it doesn't matter how many lunges you throw, your Galvantula's having a bad day. I'm sorry. All right. I mean, for Zayat, this is great to see. I love Galvantula, dude. I remember when this thing was like on all the teams in the Ultra League. Feels like the Master League though, with how expensive it has gotten. My goodness. Lunge is going to be doing quite a bit here, though. It's starting to add up. The opponent going to be getting close to that next lunge, and Galvantula is just, I mean, hey, for the opponent, maybe their whole entire game plan was to distract the Unovan Stunfisk and get it. Oh! No, they're just that weak to Stunfisk, dude. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad because we're so debuffed. The opponent is shielding their Belly Bolt, but they're gonna get a full Sucker Punch down, and that is super dangerous. Oh no. Oh no, the opponent's gonna go ahead and take the Mud Bomb. They have a shield down though. Let's see. You have to come in with Mewtwo and absorb the energy. You have to, right? Yeah, absolutely. The opponent gonna be going straight for his Parabolic Charge, most likely. Man, if they go for the Zap Cannon. Oh, they go for the Zap Cannon! I salute this trainer. Look, at least they're a Belly Bolt that knows how to take a risk, okay? The opponent, however, is gonna land that Zap Cannon, and we're leaving it all up to... No, we're gonna go for the move here. We want to get this energy off. The Psy Strike is gonna go, and we have to use it, man. We have to know that this Gator can win this game with a shield now in shield advantage, but however, is the opponent going to be able to Sucker Punch down? No, Mewtwo gets to the move because Confusion Pacing is goaded, and Belly Bolt's meeting its demise, and immediately we're swapping into the Feraligatr that should, with a shield advantage, be able to take this matchup home because those Shadow Claws add up just enough for 2 Hydro Cannons to be nearly lethal, and now we're going to see this opponent's Jellicent going for a charge move. It's going to have to lock in that Shadow Ball. If they bait, they lose. They go for the Shadow Ball. It's correctly shielded. As long as we correctly shield the Shadow Ball, that's all we need. Now we're going to be going for this Hydro Cannon. That's going to be nearly lethal to the opponent. However, getting very low. Can they get to another Shadow Ball? Yes, they can! Oh, no KO. This has to... Okay. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't play enough Shadow Gator to know that wasn't enough, but man, that was a close one. Holy bro. We're getting in some nice games today. Look at that. What is this, a 4-1? 4-1, nice. Getting to rank 19 with these games. Dude, Mewtwo is the real stuff this season, I'm telling y'all. Even against Dark types, it has that Dynamic Punch. It's a nice thing to be able to take care of that matchup. Has really efficient moves. If you can get one, try and find someone who's been playing since at least 2019. See if they have one for trade, dude, if you can. And then, of course, as soon as you get one and build it, then they're going to bring it back in raids and you could have traded them. But that's okay. That's how it's going to go for me. I have one. It's horrible IVs, and it's just like, it's like a 13-7-4, dude. It's really bad, but it's the only one I have, and I've just been using it. It's done fine, though. I mean, just genuinely, it doesn't matter if you get bad IVs. It doesn't matter if you get bad IVs on Armored Mewtwo. It's good as it is. Let me vouch for that, please, as a person who's used an Armored Mewtwo with terrible IVs. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.